morning, students. Today again we are going to this under laws of motion. There are some numerical problems are given in the textbook. Let us solve these problems one by one. So a man of mass 30 kg uses a rope to climb which bears only 450 newtons. What is the maximum acceleration with which he can climb safely? So here is a how much force is in 450. So here is a force is equal to 450 newtons. Here in the textbook the problem number is 12 and mass is equal to 30 kg. What is the maximum acceleration? So generally force is equal to mass into acceleration. So take this acceleration. Acceleration is equal to force by mass. So therefore what is the acceleration is equal to acceleration is equal to force. How much is there? 450 newtons by 30 kg. 0 cancel 40. So you can write here as a 15 meter per second square. This is the acceleration. So another one, two rubber bands stretched in a standard length causes an object to accelerate 2 meters per second square. Two rubber bands stretched a standard length causes acceleration 2 meters per second square. Suppose another object with twice the mass is pulled by 4 rubber bands stretched the standard length. What is the acceleration of the second object? Here is a mass of the first object. Let us see the second another problem. Two rubber bands stretched a standard length causing an object accelerates 2 meters per second square. So mass of the first one is equal to x gram. Suppose another object is twice the mass. M2 object mass is equal to 2x gram. For this same length, length is equal. L1 is equal to L2, length is equal. Time is also equal. Force applied is equal. 4 rubber bands stretch a standard length. What is the acceleration of the second object? So here the mass is inversely proportional to acceleration. Mass is inversely proportional. Mass is inversely proportional. No, sorry. Mass is inversely proportional to, means that the mass is greater, less. Acceleration is greater. When the mass is more, accelerate. So according to this equation, m1 acceleration is 2 meters per second square. So a1 acceleration is equal to 2 meters per second square. What is the a2 acceleration? So a2 acceleration is a mass is directly proportional. So m1 by a1 m1 into a1 is equal to m2 into a2. Then a2 is equal to m1 into a1 by m2. So that is equal to, what is m1 is x into 2 by 2x. So second point, force is inverse to F1 is equal to m1 into a1. F2 is equal to m2 into a2. So force is directly proportional to acceleration. So according to this, F1 by F2 is equal to A1 by A2 into M2 by M1. Force is inverse to mass. So according to this equation, A1 2 meter per second square by A2 into 2x by x. So it is equal to, then F1 x is cancelled, 2 is 4. F1 by F2 is equal to 4 meter per second square by 8. Therefore, F1 A2 is equal to 4 into F2. Then A2 is equal to 4 into F2 by F1 is equal to 4 into 1 by 2 is equal to per second square. The force is directly proportional to mass. Force is directly proportional to mass. Proportional to mass. since L is constant. L is constant. This is the rate. So you can write the answer is here 2 meter per second square. This is it. So M1 is x, M2 is 2x, L is equal, then inversely proportional according to this equation. So here in this equation, force is not considered. So force is also considered. So when the force is considered, so then you can write the A2 is equal to 2 by 2x. Answer to 1. When we coming 1 meter per second square, will be wrong. So here is a M1 into A1, capacitor inverse to mass. F1 by F2 is equal to A1 by A2 into M2 by M1. So from this equation, F2. So this you need not consider this one. So you eliminate this because your force is not considered. So then you can see here is the force is directly proportional to acceleration. F1 by F2 is equal to A1 by A2 into M2 by M1. So force is inverse to mass and direct to acceleration. So the F1 by F2 is equal to 2 by 8 into x by x. Or you can say F1 F2 is 4 meter per second by A2. So A2 F1 is equal to 4 F2, or A2 is equal to 4 into F2 by F1. So therefore 4 into 1 by 2, 2 meter per second square. So this is the way you have to calculate. Next one. Two ice skaters initially at rest push each other. If one skater whose mass 60 kg, velocity 2 meter per second, what is the velocity of other skater whose mass is 40 kg? So here is the, according to the third law, according to third law, sum of momentum before collision is equal to after collision. This is the one. So before collision, since the initial velocity is at rest, therefore before collision momentum is 0. Before collision total momentum is 0. Next, after collision total momentum is L1 U1 plus U2 is equal to 0. After collision, momentum is 60 into 2. 60 is into 2 meter per second plus 40 kg into V2. So therefore we can write 60 kg into 2 meter per second plus 40 kg V2 is equal to 0. Write 0. So take the value 60 kg into 2 meter per second is equal to minus 40 kg into V2. Then V2 is equal to 60 kg into 2 meter per second by 40. 0 0 cancel, 2 1s are 2s are 2 1s are 3s are. Answer is equal to 3 meter per second. This is the answer. So the answer is 3 meter per second. In it is a negative sign indicates retardation. Indicates retardation. Indicates retardation. Okay, next question here. Before collision, total momentum is 0. That is m1 into u1 plus m2 into ut is 0. So after collision, total momentum is 60 into 2 plus 40 into v2. So 60 into 2 plus 40 into v2 is equal to 0 because it is 1. So therefore 60 kg into is equal to minus 40 into v2. So v2 is equal to 60 into 2 by 40 minus 40. So that is equal to minus 3 meter per second. So negative sign indicates retardation. So this is the answer you can write. Now there is another problem. A force 5 Newton produces acceleration 8 meter per second on a man m1 and an acceleration 24 meter per second square on a man m2. What acceleration would the same force provided if both the masses are tied together? So force applied F is equal to 5 Newton. Problem number 21. Acceleration 8 meter per second. A1 8 meter per second square. Mass m1. Mass m1. And an acceleration in meter per second, mass m2. Same force is applied here. Again here is the per second one. Force is equal to 5 newtons and acceleration is equal to 24 meter per second square and mass A2 you have to find. So for this first case to find F is equal, force F is equal to M into A. According to this equation, M1 is equal to F by A1, F by A1. So that is equal to 5 by 8. 5 Newton by 8 meter per second square. And for the second one also you can find M2 is equal to F by 8. That is equal to 5 Newton by 24 meter per second square. So here the mass, total mass, how much is there? You write total mass is equal to m1 plus m2. That is equal to 5 by 8 plus 5 by 24. So now you can find the addition is 24, 15 plus 5 is equal to 20 by 24. That is the total mass. Kg. 20 by 24 kg. Then acceleration. Again you find force is equal to 5 Newton, same force applied, and mass is equal to 20 by 24 kg. Then acceleration, resultant acceleration is how much? This is the answer you can write. So the resultant combined acceleration is equal to force by total mass, that is m1 plus m2. So you can write A is equal to 5 newtons by 20 by 24, that is 5 into 24 by 20. 5 ones are 5 fours are 4 ones are 24. So it is equal to 6 meter per second square. So your answer is here. What is asking? What is acceleration to the same force provided both the masses tied together? So if two bodies tied together and applied same force, that is 5 Newton force, combined acceleration is 6 meter per second square. This is the answer. So here is the first body, force applied 5 Newton, acceleration 8 meter per second, mass is m1. The second body, the same force applied 5 Newton, acceleration a2, 24 meter per second square, mass is m2. So for the first body, mass m1 is 5 by 8. According to this formula, F1 is equal to m1 into a1. So therefore m1 is equal to f by a1. So 5 by 8. The second body m2 is equal to f by a2. So that is 5 by 24. So total mass is m1 plus m2 is 5 by 8 plus 5 by 24 is equal to 20 by 24 kg. Now apply this one. Acceleration, resultant acceleration is equal to same force applied by total mass m1 plus m2, that is A is equal to 5 by 20 by 24 or 5 in 24 by 20 is equal to 6 meter per second square. This is the answer, you can get it. So next problem. So here, hammer of mass 400 kg. Mass of hammer 400 kg. 400 gram, 0.4 kg. Moving with a speed 30 meter per second. Speed 30 meter per second. Strikes a nail. The nail stops the hammer in a very short time. To stop the hammer. .01 seconds. What is the force of the nail hammer? What is the force of the nail on the hammer? So, force applied on the hammer. Question mark. You know that F is equal to M into A. So next, A is equal to change in velocity by time. Change in velocity by time. So from this equation, F is equal to M into delta V by delta T. So you can write F is equal to mass. How much mass is here? 0.4 kg into speed is how much is there? 30 meter per second. That is the change. By time is how much? 0.01. So you can write the answer is here 12 by 0.01. That is equal to 1200 by 1. 1200 by 1. So therefore, the net force is equal to 1200 newtons. 1200 newtons. This is understand here. So mass of hammer is 400 grams, means 0.4 kg. Speed is 30 meter per second. This is speed means from starting to the final. Starting is 0, final is 30. Change in speed is 30 meter per second. Time to stop the hammer. How much time taken? 0.01 second. Force applied on the hammer is how much? So force is equal to mass into acceleration according to Newton's second law. And acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time. Here is change in speed by time. So therefore, force is equal to mass into change in speed by time. So mass is 0.4 kg and change in speed is 30 meter per second by 0.01 second time. 0.01 second time. So therefore you can write answer is here 12 by 0.01, or you can 1200 by 1, that is 1200 newtons. 1200 newtons. Force is applied on the hammer. Next, another problem. Find the acceleration of the blocks and the tension in the taken. G is 10 meter per second square. Tension of the string is nothing but force acting in the upward action is equal to mass into acceleration. So that is equal to mass is equal to 3 kg, acceleration is equal to 10 meter per second square. So therefore, tension is equal to 3 into 10, 30 kg meter per second square. Then acceleration of the block and tension. The acceleration of the block Port tension is equal to force is equal to 3 into same tension is equal to mass into acceleration. So tension is 30 newtons is equal to 3 into A. Then A is equal to 30 by 3, 10 meter per second square. Find the acceleration of blocks and tensions in the string. Tension is 30 upward direction and downward direction. Total mass 6 kg. A is equal to 30 by 6 total mass. Total mass is equal to m1 plus m2. Both are moving same direction. Moving with same force. So therefore 30 newtons by 6 kg is equal to 5 per second square. Okay, string. So tension on the string is equal to force into force, that is m into g. M into 3 kilograms, g is a 10 meters, so tension is 3 into 10, 30 kg kilogram meter per second square is acting on the string. So then tension is equal to mass into acceleration. Our total mass here, the m1 and m2 moving in with the same force, Therefore 30 newtons is equal to 60 kg into acceleration. So acceleration is equal to 30 newtons by 6 is equal to 5 meter per second square. So that is the answer. Okay, right. Now go to the next. Three identical. So, okay, we'll continue the next. Next class, we'll continue this.